Hello, Talking About Rock fans. Welcome to this episode, Talk About Rock. I'm Rob Edwards in Buffalo. My co-host, Jerry Smith in Nashville, is on assignment. Today we have with us a special guest, the original drum machine, Mr. Dean Roberts from LeatherWolf. Dean, how are you today?
I'm good. Hello, everybody out there, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, man. Good to see you guys getting back in the fold, as it were, re-energized, rejuvenated. You know, it's been a little while since we heard from LeatherWolf. You know, you guys started out Huntington Beach in, what was it, 81 when you first started this up?
Well, me and Carrie and Jeff hooked up in 1980.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Jerome Severin, and then Mikey came in, I think it was 81 or 82, somewhere around there.
Okay.
But it was a while ago.
Yeah, that's been quite a while, right? And then you guys had a split, and then you reunited in 99, right?
Yeah, we broke up in 89, and then those guys did some other stuff, and then in 99, yeah, we got back together to play a show for Jennifer Perry, and then proceeded into trying to get a record, the World Asylum record, written and done by the original guys, which wasn't able to happen.
Okay, all right.
So me and Jeff basically finished it. You know, Jeff was the main writer on that with Wade.
Okay.
Wade just flew in, sang the parts, and took off, and he did a phenomenal job, I thought.
Excellent. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, I've liked your track since, you know, the first LeatherWolf album with Rise or Fall. You know what I mean? That really got my attention.
The second record.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then Street Ready, you know. Street Ready obviously was a big one for you guys.
Yeah, it cracks me up. You know, that's a cool record. You know, I think that you know, Mikey and Carrie are a little more involved in some of that stuff, and it just had a little more of a mellower vibe, but it was a classic, you know.
Definitely.
Me, I was more like the first record, you know. I was, you know, Spider, Kill and Kill Again, all that stuff. I just thought was killer. Right.
And have you always been drumming, or were you ever playing anything else, or that's the first thing you started when you were younger?
I've always just been a drummer, you know. I've always been just writing drum melodies for other guys' riffs, you know.
Excellent. And now you have a little bit of a new lineup in the band, right?
Yeah, it's a lot different people. And me and Paul are.
You got Paul Carmen, right, on bass.
Yeah. And then we got a singer named Keith
Adamiak.
Adamiak.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh God, now
and you got Rob Math on guitars and Jeff Gayer on guitars, right?
No, Jeff Gayer, he's out.
He's out currently. Okay.
Yeah, so we haven't announced it, but it's going to be Luke Mann's going to play guitar.
Okay.
And Wayne Finley is going to play guitar and keyboards.
Oh, nice. So you'll be back to the triple axe attack type of thing.
Well, officially, we're going to get one more guy, and we're just going to be able to go out live and play, I think, just another element of keyboard parts for like the Cry Outs and for the Princess of Love and for the Rise or Falls. We can start adding that element live, you know. Awesome.
So let's take a quick pause here and let's check out some live video from you guys for Rise or Fall on Talking About Rock. This is LeatherWolf. Okay, thank you, folks. We're back on Talking About Rock with Dean Roberts from LeatherWolf. So tell me a little bit about Unchained Live. That was a really nice live album that you guys came out with. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, got to thank Roy Z for making us sound better than we are. And it's just something I was working on for a bit of time. I was more interested in making a real record, but it just was hard with the scheduling and the guys having day jobs and all that stuff to get it done. So just decided to just record some live stuff and see how it would turn out. That was with Rob Math and Kerry Howe participated, and Pat Guyton did, and Mikey did too. So it was just a cool little thing to do,
Yeah, I really love the sound you got out. The mix was really great. It sounded really good. So we were talking a little bit about the songs before and the drum melodies. Are you involved in writing any lyrics too, or is it just like the melodies for the drums, or how does your drum writing process kind of work for LeatherWolf?
For which album?
Whichever. It's changed over the years, I assume. So
okay, the first three records, like the first record, we would sit in a room and we would just Kerry or Mike or mainly Jeff would come up with the melodies.
Mm-hmm.
And then those three guys would usually spend hours and hours working stuff out. And then we would go into the rehearsal studio. Then I would start figuring out, shoot, man, how am I going to write the riff to Rise or Fall? So it was a little tricky, but it was interesting because Jeff always, he was just the riff dude, and you could tell he spent time. He wasn't lazy about his writing, so it wasn't bar chords. It was melodies that just were cool, in my opinion.
Right,
so
right.
Then it would just, since the songs were a little bit intricate for me, it would take me a little time to get them dialed. And then when the World Asylum record came around, me and Jeff would write the melodies, come with the guitar parts, and I would throw some arrangement stuff in here. And then I would write, like I wrote the words and the melodies for The Grail. And for some parts of other songs, I think something for the beginning of Behind the Gun. And that was just a me and Jeff thing, And
right.
This record, Jeff did a lot of writing, a lot of riffs, a lot of stuff. But Keith wrote the words. I wrote the melody for like Kill the Hunted, which everyone will hear. And then for this other song called Nobody, came up with the drum beat, and then Kerry wrote some guitar riffs, and Robbie wrote some guitar riffs. Kerry Howe wrote the chorus, which was pretty killer, man.
Right, definitely, yep.
And then Keith wrote the words and the melodies, and so this one's been more interesting because Jeff didn't finish it, so I got stuck just kind of producing and adding a little more of the Dean element,
Right. And the songwriting production process is totally different. I assume you guys aren't going into studios, you're probably trading tracks type of thing, right?
No, I went to a studio to record my drum.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, because you can't drums are
difficult. Can't get the right feel or the right tone.
It's not so difficult. It's just you need the gear, and I've been talking to Roy and some of my friends lately, and everything's starting to sound the same. We were like, all the drums and the guitars, you can't really tell who's playing. It just sounds so mechanical. So Roy told me this place down in San Diego, Signature Sound, and I went down there and I did my drums, and then I got a bunch of studio gear, higher quality stuff, and just did all the guitars and the vocals and everything here, like on that song that you heard, Hit the Dirt.
Right. Yep. That's one of the new tracks you guys that got coming out, and that's great. I'm glad you shared it with us. That was nice.
Yeah. So like in that verse, I wrote that melody, that melody for that drum beat, because I heard it, so it's interesting, when you're dealing with other people's melodies and riffs, is when you're a drummer, which we don't really get much credit by anybody.
Right.
But you really
Very
have
true.
to write a riff. And sometimes you'll write a drum riff and then the guitar will change into following that riff, Cool. We got a song called Nobody. And me and I was listening to an Alter Bridge song,
Right.
and I just thought the drummer was killer. The whole melody was super killer. So I came up with an idea, and then just came up with a drum beat, and then Pat Guyton and I just started throwing down some ideas about an intro, a bridge, a verse, a chorus, and a lead section, you know?
Right.
And then I emailed it to Kerry Howe, and he came up with a good guitar riff, and then he started finishing off some parts for the arrangement, you know? And I don't know, I kind of like the song, but it's just interesting, you know, when you start getting drummers and bass players involved in melodies, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it was just cool. I thought it's a pretty cool song.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And someone's going to hear it differently and get a different take on it. And it's cool you're experimenting a little bit and getting little different sides of things, putting it together. That's excellent. That's great. Very cool.
It was just an opportunity for me. You know, I mean, you know, in the old days, in the 80s with the LeatherWolf guys, Kerry, Mike, and Jeff just did all their stuff, and then they would come to me, and I'd have to sit with a 8-track and just figure out, okay, what am I going to do?
Right. That was the standard way of doing it, right? Everybody had their little 8-track, and they lay down some basic stuff and like that. Now you can do everything on your PC or your Mac or your whatever with Pro Tools and stuff like that, pretty much, right?
Well, yeah, but see, that's the thing is, it doesn't get the live vibe of the sound. That's the tricky part now these days, you know.
Gotcha.
And you know, technology really helped me with this particular record because you know, when you can write all your drum parts and you can put them into Pro Tools and you can hear what works and what doesn't with a guitar melody, you know, so it really helps you fine tune, at least me personally, what I'm going to play. And then it gets a little tricky if you write some stuff that's extremely hard to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, right. Like, why did I make that so intricate? It sounded cool back then, but now I got to kind of really buckle down so I can do it. Yeah.
That verse riff, it took me like 4 weeks to get it down to where I could play it, because all the kids these days, man, they can play that super fast bass drum stuff, which, you know, I'm not that guy. Mm-hmm. So I had to practice and get into being able to play that riff like at 250, you know, mm-hmm. You know, and it was cool, but it wasn't the way I normally like to play, but it was interesting trying to tackle, you know.
Right. Well, I think it sounds very, very cool. And let's take another quick pause here. I'm going to check out the video for Thunder by LeatherWolf here on Talking About Rock. Okay, folks, we're back talking about rock here with Dean Roberts from LeatherWolf. So, Dean, you were telling us a little bit about the writing process, how it's kind of changed a little bit over the time frame with the different folks. Tell me a little about your touring. So you went out, you did some tour, and I think you got a chance to tour with a couple different bands, right? Slayer, who else? I'm sorry, the names are escaping me.
Dude, we haven't played since 2018 with the old lineup.
Okay. Originally, you came out, and I think you were touring with Slayer and Enforcer. You toured with them. Then you toured with Poison in 85 and 86.
We had some one-off shows with those guys.
Yeah, yep.
Which is like with Queensryche and Ted Nugent, and then the festivals, you get to play with Whitesnake, and you get to play. Yeah, we played with Slayer at a couple festivals, and
then you did one in 89 with White Lion.
Yeah, we played a show. We were on the American tour, and we played a show with those guys, which was interesting. You get to meet a bunch of rock stars, dude.
Yeah, and the last show I have here that you played with Rat and Dokken in 2010. So we just saw Dokken here, and
we played Orange County. It was cool. It was a cool gig. I have a friend that got us a show with those guys, and it was cool. I just it would have been nice to see George show up and play.
Yeah, well, he is on the reunion tour with them now, kind of. So he does like 4 songs with Don on stage. The rest of it is
So George played a lead on this record.
On the new one coming out.
Yeah. He played a lead, and so did Joel Holstra played a lead on a couple songs, and then Luke's going to play some leads, but Robbie has been just doing everything. All the rhythms, all the harmonies, all the triples, all the duals. He's just been freaking nailing like the madman that he is.
You're talking about Rob Math here.
Yeah.
And looks like he was voted in the Rock Gods Hall of Fame in 2018 in LA. Just an amazing guitar player. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like an unknown guy. He's the sweetest guy on the planet. Plus, he can play. You just sit there, because we've been just recording, recording leads. We recorded like 20 songs. And, it's a bit of work going through all those rhythms and leads and stuff. So you just start. I just so respect that he can play so cleanly and so good. It's just nice.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks have had so much time on their hands because of the pandemic. So a lot of stuff, there was a lot of writing going on. I know a lot of bands waited to release albums and things like that. Obviously all the tours were put on hold for a while. And now we're seeing some more bumps in the road with that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, people rescheduling some dates and that. Steven had to reschedule his date here in Buffalo, so he'll be back in, I think, April. But it's coming back around. Rock has always been the underdog, not on the top, and a little bit more so now it's the underdog, I think, with the way that the popular music is, shall we say, you know what I mean? So hopefully we'll see some more of that comeback in some way,
I just hope, that this COVID thing gets handled, that everything, I don't want, just for live shows, people to get sick and die, because there's something going on, and all that stuff. Let's get back to normal, back to 2018, 2019, But we haven't played, we haven't done nothing.
Right. Yeah. A lot of the shows out here, folks got to show their Vax card and things like that to get in. I think they're going to make that more of a mandatory type of thing as time moves on. So yeah, hopefully we can just get by all this stuff, and get back to a more semi-normal type of world, if it ever will be that way again, but we'll see.
I'm sure it will. I have faith, it's another hiccup.
Yeah, it's a big hiccup. So I know that was kind of part of the reason we started doing these shows, because we wanted the public to realize, there's still music around, there's still live bands. If you like this music, you need to go out and support these folks. You know what I mean? You need to make it to live shows. You need to check it out. It's not the same experience you're watching it on a screen or listening it onto your phone or something like that. That's not the experience, The experience is going to a live show with your friends, meeting new friends, having a good time. It's something memorable that, I grew up, remembered all the shows I went to,
Dude, it's so nice to walk into some small club and there's it's a sold out show, and there's 300 people, and it's packed, and it's Michael Shankner and Graham Bonnet and Cozy Powell, and they're just sitting there just playing like, you just walk away just going, God, that was just killer. Those guys just, and those are rare shows,
Oh yeah, definitely. We got to catch Yngwie Malmsteen here was it last month or something like that. And it was in pretty good sized club, but I was pretty close to the stage. It was nice to see that, I was front row for the Dawkins show. That was nice. But yeah, it's nice to have those little bit more, intimate type of thing. I just wish, with all the streaming and with all the digital music that, us as fans, since you musicians aren't making any money on this stuff now concert tickets are super high priced, right? To make any of that money. That's what we got to do, right?
It's come on, man. Back in the 80s and 90s, tickets were like $20, $29.
Right. Yeah. I could go to like 4 shows a summer, maybe more, you know what I mean? And have great seats, Yeah. Now you're lucky if you can go to 2 shows, maybe 3, and it's quite pricey, but I don't know. It's just crazy with the streaming and with the digital thing, and I don't know. But
what can you do, dude?
It is what it is for now. So let's take one more quick.
Are you going to M3?
I'm not going to be able to make it to M3. No, unfortunately not. That looks like an amazing show, though. Yeah.
Well, it is kind of cool because we've been wanting to play it for years, but just got a phone call and we're on. It's going to be a cool thing. I never played it, but I hear it's at a good venue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has a very good reputation. So that should be a great show for sure to check out. When is that coming up? It's in
May 9th.
May 9th.
We're playing the 8th. We're playing with Yngwie and freaking Tesla and a bunch of other cool bands.
Yngwie was still amazing.
Classic mellow band I was listening to last night, just going, man, these guys are so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be interesting because I think the 2 most heavy metal band are probably going to be us and Yngwie.
Yeah, he was amazing when I saw him. I wasn't sure what to expect, but he was still smoking. Just like the old days.
He'll always be smoking. The first time I saw him with Steeler.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, like in 1980.
Nice.
I just got out here and I was just like,
who is this guy?
That was just cool.
Right.
That's why I was surprised. That Steeler turned into Keel, and then it just fully changed direction because I thought those guys were killer,
Mm-hmm.
And I never got to talk to Ron about what went down with that whole thing because we were managed by the same management, Tim Heine.
Oh, okay.
But another great guy, Ronnie, he can sing, man. He just got a killer range, and it was just cool to just sit there at that place and watch those guys play. It was cool.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's check out one more video from you guys. We got the video for the Henchman we're going to play here from LeatherWolf. We'll be right back. Hello, folks. We're back talking about rock here with Dean Roberts from LeatherWolf. So, Dean, you got some new tracks that are going to be coming out. You're going to have a new album. Tell us a little bit about some of the new songs here you got to share with us.
Yeah, we recorded like 20 songs. We're going to release like probably 13 songs on an album, and we did some old stuff just for some classic songs that I liked back in the 80s. And we're just finishing up the leads right now. Robbie, Luke, Joel Holstra played a few leads, phenomenal guitar player, and George Lynch played a lead on a song called The Beast. Did a great job. And it's going to be more like the first record, a little more melody. And I'm just interested. You know, it's been fun making it. It's been taking a little bit of time just because of the whole COVID thing. And, you know, I had to get shoulder surgery, and I ran into a tree on my bicycle and freaking had broken ribs. So I was down for a little bit.
Oh, man. Jeez. Oh, that's never good. But
time to play water polo, I tore my rib. So I did.
Oh, man.
And then I ran into a tree on my bike going like 25 miles an hour. Yeah. So this whole COVID thing has kind of put it, you know, it's been taking a little bit of time. You know, we all have day jobs. So, but I'm really proud of what everyone did, and I'm really proud of how it's turning out. And I think it's going to be, it's different guys than the original LeatherWolf guys. You know, Jeff was still a main songwriter on this stuff. Hopefully we can, you know, honor his vibe. And
yeah, I really like the tracks you sent me. You know what I mean? We talked a little bit about it. You know, it's a lot of it harkens back to the earlier sound and original sound of LeatherWolf, which I thought was kind of cool. I really like what you're doing so far. You know, I look forward to hearing more from that. When do you think that whole thing will drop? Or are you going to just have a couple songs at a time, or what are you thinking?
We're going to be done by the middle of January with everything, and then we're just going to see what happens. You know, you never know. You know, no matter what, either someone picks it up or they don't. But we're gonna release a video before we go do M3 in May, and hopefully we'll have something going on with somebody that's going to pick up the record. But you know, what can you do? You know.
Yeah. So for the folks that know, can you tell them a little bit about the M3 festival? I think Stephen Piercy is going to be there. I'm not sure the rest of the lineup off the top of my head.
Tesla. Who else? A bunch of bands are going to be there. I don't even. I'd have to look at see.
Yeah, is it just is it a weekend festival, or what is it?
It's a 3-dayer. It's like an Irvine Meadows thing out in Baltimore.
In Baltimore. So I'm looking at it now, and the lineup is Tesla, Tom Kiefer, Extreme, Blue Oyster Cult, Skid Row, Kix, Stryper, Stephen Piercy, Yngwie Malmsteen, Doro Pesch, Tony Harnell, the voice of TNT, Zebra, XYZ, the Choir Boys, Lizzie Borden, oh my gosh, Heaven's Edge, LeatherWolf, Lillian Axe, Vane, who I haven't heard Vane in like, I can't tell you how long, but I remember them. Birding Witches, I'm not familiar with, Count 77. Wow, that's such a, you know, love Zebra, would love to see them. Malmsteen.
That's the funniest thing is, as I looked at everybody, you know, I was going, there's always been something that's stuck with me about those guys, you know, even though they're more melodic and mellow, but they're very talented. So last night I was talking to my wife, and I'm just going, it's going to be kind of cool to finally see those guys, you know? Yeah.
I just love their early tracks, you know, Who's Behind the Door, things like that. It always stuck with me. I'll still go back and listen to that all the time. You know what I mean? Early Yngwie tracks. Of course, all the tracks from Rat and Stephen Piercy, you know what I mean? Just the total 80s sound. Stryper, love. Kix, amazing albums they came out with. Skid Row, I'm kind of really not sure what their direction is right now with the split with Sebastian and stuff. So I'm kind of not sure where they're at. But Blue Oyster Cult, love their stuff.
Another classic little deal.
Yeah, love their stuff. Listen to them all the time. And Tom Kiefer, my personal opinion, doesn't get enough credit as a songwriter. I just love the guy's songs. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
he's a nice guy. You know, he's not an arrogant rock star. And he's super talented, man. He's really good.
You know, when he came out with his solo stuff, I was like, I got to check this out because I love the Cinderella stuff. And he's like, yeah, I had this tape kicking around, for a while, and I just never released it. And I really dug it. I thought it was great. I don't know why it didn't get more fire behind it, but that kind of happens.
Last time I saw him, I think it was maybe 2015, the Monsters of Rock cruise in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool, man. Y&T and all those guys. It was a fun little gig.
Yeah, that definitely sounds amazing. So that's definitely going to be really cool. So folks, you want to check that out, the M3 Festival. Was it Columbia, Maryland is going to be coming up? And when did you say the date on that was? I don't see the date. May 8th, if folks want to check that out. Killer lineup, tons of bands.
Then we're going to Bang Your Head in July.
Okay.
In Germany.
And I did see the one for Germany. Now, who are you guys? Is it just you guys or someone else on that bill?
Oh, it's Saxon. There's a bunch of other bands.
Okay, I think I did see that one as well. Yeah,
I mean, but it's been being pushed for like the last 2 or 3 years. So I'm just hoping everything gets cool so we actually go out there, because we got a few shows out there, and if that pans out and goes down, we got a few other shows, so we can be out in Europe for a little bit of time, which would be cool. Finally get out and play again.
Oh, definitely. They got that big rock fest coming up in Florida. I seen. So these kind of shows are starting to pop up again, right, with multiple bands. I think the one in Florida is like a 4-day event. Every day there's like 4 or 5 different acts. But it's really cool that this is starting to be out there again. It's starting to gain a little momentum. You know what I mean? There's still an audience for this. So. I really love that. That's great. Yeah. And, I look forward to the release of your new album and stuff like that. Seeing you guys out on the road, please check in with us and let us know what's going on. If folks want to, hear or learn more about you, where should they go?
Just go to our Facebook page or LeatherWolf Metal, our online website.
Okay. And you guys are on Spotify, iTunes, all the services, that type of thing, right? To check out.
Here's a funny thing is Universal is going to release our first record in Japan. I think that I was told it was January 20th, which is kind of cool because that thing's been under wraps because Island owns it,
Okay.
And they're going to start selling it for I guess $9 a piece plus shipping, which is pretty killer,
Right.
For that record. I just it's what is kind of interesting is that the Street Raider record's not available on Spotify.
Yes, I did notice that. Yes. Yeah,
and we have no say of trying to get that to happen, because Island owns the rights to it, so hopefully something will go on about that, because I think it's a pretty commercial record that mainstream people might like, Definitely. Or sometimes folks I know in the past they've re-recorded some of that stuff with different musicians or something like that too. So I don't know if that's something to look at. We re-recorded like Spider, Gypsies, Spirits in the Wind. What else did we do? The Grail. We re-recorded them to try to get a better sound quality and just see how this Keith wanted to sing on them, So we did all those tunes.
Excellent. Yeah. I really like the new stuff. Like I said, can't wait to see, hear the rest of it. That'll be great. It's great that you're going back out on tour. I'm sure you're looking forward to getting back out there and seeing what's going on with the crowds and stuff. They're really appreciative. I tell you, coming out there. I know a little city like ours here in Buffalo, the crowds get a little bit crazy. So I can imagine how it's going to be at some, in Germany and some of these other places. Should be excellent. So.
Yeah, we haven't been to Buffalo, dude, since, it must have been 2014. I think we were out there.
Yeah.
The thing I remember the most, we played a couple clubs. We showed up to a club, and no one was there. They paid us to play, but the club didn't open.
Yeah, or they didn't advertise. Yeah, so
Niagara Falls.
Yeah, some of the clubs don't really advertise enough or get more involved in just putting it on social media or stuff like that. You gotta plug the shows, you know what I mean? So we definitely do that here, talking about rock, all the shows that are coming to town. Yeah. We get involved with that, and we try to plug as much as we can and let people know what's happening. But definitely. So, Dean, great to speak with you. It's really awesome that LeatherWolf is re-energized, reinvigorated, coming back for the attack. We're really happy to hear that. Liking the new tracks. Like I said, I can't wait till we see all of it from you. That's awesome, my friend.
Well, right on, dude. Thanks to you and your station and all the people that might be listening. We're back, and the record will be out next year, beginning of the year.
Excellent, excellent. So, folks, you want to check that out.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, folks. So, yeah, definitely check that out. And if a few folks out there have comments or feedback for us, you can always email us at talkingaboutrock@gmail.com. Please like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And as always, for this video and other videos, you can check us out on YouTube, but we will be moving all our interviews to Facebook. All right, folks, thank you so much. Dean, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time, my friend.
Ciao, dude. Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good day, man.
You too.